Hey, Frontline fans, welcome back to Comic Frontline and fans. You're with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do another installment of TV Time. And today, fans, we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 5, otherwise known as Self-Help. Now, last week we got to see a whole different spin on things on the show with Bethany, and we found out where she has been in the past few episodes of the show. Now, this time around, the show focuses on the other group, which consists of Abraham, Eugene, Rosita, Tara, Maggie, and Glenn. And you get to see their mission on their way to Washington to supposedly cure the zombie apocalypse. Now, right away, there's obstacles that happen to stall their mission to Washington, and you get to see the bus flip over, and you get to see the zombies trying to pile in the fire exits, and you get to see our main characters here take care of these zombies, and you get to witness Eugene for the first time do his own zombie kill. And we all know he's not physically gifted. He's the smart one of the group, and he's the one that's trying to save the world. And they'll do whatever they have to do in order to protect Eugene, because he's the savior. He's the one that can bring back mankind. And throughout this episode, we find out that things aren't quite what they seem with Eugene. Now, if you're a fan of the comics and you've read the comics before, you know exactly what I'm talking about here, because yes, Eugene is a liar. He's not a scientist. He's nothing special. He is a smart guy, but he's no scientist and he can't save the world. Now, in the beginning of this episode and throughout the episode, you get to see these flashbacks with Abraham. And we get to see him in the beginning of the episode beating these guys with cans of vegetables. And then you see him go towards his wife, and his wife and his family are like scared out of their minds of him because of what he's done to these people. And as the episode unravels as well, we get to see Eugene was the one that was kind of stalling things from them going to Washington. And overall, the episode was really a slow episode. Not much action in there. A few zombie scenes. One was kind of a comical scene with Eugene on a fire truck spraying water all over the zombies and body parts just flying all over the place, which was comical. But the big reveal in this episode here was, yes, that Eugene is not a scientist. Um, you know, and it hits Abraham very, very hard. And he basically beats the crap out of Eugene and almost kills him. And he probably would have killed him if it wasn't for the group stopping him. And towards the end of the episode, you see the driving force of Abraham, why he was so adamant about getting to Washington, about solving this zombie apocalypse. Because when the end of the episode happened, he found his family dead outside, and he had nothing left to live for. He had the gun to his mouth, and the first person he saw was Eugene. Saved his life. He's going to go back to kill himself again, and right away he said, I have a mission. And from there on out, Abraham had that drive to say, let's go to Washington. So I thought it was a brilliant part on Eugene's part to get Abraham to protect him, because he knew he was a strong person. And Eugene, the only way to survive was to get people stronger around him to protect him. So by coming up with this mission, he figured he would be able to survive. But as this episode progressed and as they got closer to Washington, he realized that people were sacrificing their lives for him, so they could solve this zombie apocalypse. And he realized that he had to present the truth to his friends before somebody else or the rest of his group or even Abraham could get killed. So really a great character-driven episode. This really focuses on Abraham a lot. If you're a fan of the comics, you're really going to understand why Abraham was kind of beating those guys up with the soup. Those people were his next door neighbors. They were his friends, and they wound up raping his family. and so basically he just wanted nothing to do with them anymore, and he couldn't believe that they did that to him and his family, and he basically killed them there. So yeah, crazy stuff. Really good episode when it comes to character development once again, which is what The Walking Dead does best. It does character development so well, so you can get attached to these characters, so you can get to know to these characters, and you understand them. You understand how their personalities work, and right when you get attached to them, they wind up getting killed, which is crazy. The very end of the episode was basically Abraham on his knees again, right back to the same point he was when his family died, because that's all he had left. There's nothing left to really live for. Now, where he goes from this point on, he will obviously go on. He's got Rosita in his life. You can obviously see that in this episode. He's the loved one there. He is surrounded by other friends. So yeah, good episode again, guys. Again, may not have been action heavy. Maybe a slower episode, maybe not as an intense story as last week's episode, but when it came to what the show was trying to accomplish here, it did its job. And I'm kind of happy that it didn't drag on the Eugene part anymore. Now we can see what the true operative here is going forward. We got rid of the Hannibals. We got rid of the whole Washington thing. Now we're going to see where the story goes from here, if they go ahead and wind up finding Alexandria and creating a safe haven for themselves once again. So guys, let me know your comments below on what you thought of this week's episode. Were you happy with it? Were you bored with it? Are you a fan of Eugene? Are you not? Are you a fan of Abraham? Yeah, guys, leave me all those great comments below. And as always, fans, until the next comic book review, TV review, check out comicrelated.com. You can check out our own website, comicfrontline.com. Or if you want to see my individual reviews, you can check out my own individual YouTube channel called Comic Book Corner 2.0. So fans, until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, guys.